morning, and thank you all for joining us today as we kick off March as Red Cross Month. I'm John Buttrill, CEO of the Greater Rochester Red Cross, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Gene Howard, Chief of Staff, City of Rochester, Dr. Andrew Doniger, who's Director of County of Monroe Department of Public Health, and a special guest, Joyce Alexandrea, who's here to share a special story with us. Red Cross Month is a time when the Greater Rochester chapter takes time to recognize the tireless efforts of our 2,200 volunteers and highlight the ways that the Red Cross touches the lives of the people in our community and across the nation every day of the year. The tradition of Red Cross Month began in 1943 during the height of World War II. President Roosevelt called on the American people to support the troops by supporting the Red Cross, which provided food, blood, and supplies to American troops, allies, and civilians in need. President Roosevelt asked Americans to donate funds to the Red Cross, setting a goal of $125 million for 6 weeks of fundraising. At the time, $125 million was more than any organization had ever raised in the history of our country. But the American people responded by opening their hearts and their wallets, and the Red Cross met the goal in less than the 6 weeks. During that season of generosity and unity, President Roosevelt proclaimed March 1943 as the first Red Cross Month. Every year since then, the President of the United States has declared March as Red Cross Month, as President Obama recently did. For 128 years, the Greater Rochester Red Cross has remained a vital community partner by providing emergency assistance, blood, life-saving training to the citizens of Monroe County, the City of Rochester, and our neighbors across the country. And last year, we were particularly busy helping our neighbors across the country as more than 100 of our local volunteers helped respond to more than 60 large-scale disasters across the nation. In 2008, we experienced the worst flooding in the Midwest in 15 years, the fourth busiest hurricane season since 1944, the deadliest tornado season in a decade, and an early and extremely active wildfire season. It seemed like every week there was a new disaster in 2008. And although hurricanes and tornadoes make the headlines, we can't forget that the day-to-day work of the Red Cross takes place in communities like ours every day. And last year alone, our 2,200 volunteers and staff helped more than 350 local families with shelter, food, and clothing when fire forced them from their homes. They trained more than 60,000 people in first aid, CPR, water safety, and other life-saving courses. They made more than 1,000 meals every day for the elderly and homebound in our community. They mentored more than 100 city school students and guided them towards a promising future. And they organized nearly 1,200 blood drives to assure that our local hospitals had a safe and adequate blood supply. And they assisted 648 U.S. military families in our community. The efforts of our volunteers have made the American Red Cross one of our community's best-known charities. And as we kick off March as Red Cross Month, we thank all of those in our community who give their time, their money, and their blood to help in this effort. And now I'm happy to have the support of Gene Howard and Dr. Doniger, who will help us proclaim March as Red Cross Month.
Thank you very much, John, for asking the City of Rochester to be present at today's press conference. On behalf of Mayor Duffy, I wish to congratulate the Red Cross for the many trails that you have taken, not only in this community, but throughout the world. We're grateful for what you do to respond to natural disasters in this community, for the prevention and training education programs that you have, so that communities can be prepared to deal with natural disasters, and also for the role that you play in making sure that families are taken care of during times of disasters. We applaud what you do to not only save futures, but save lives in this community. Congratulations as well on the support that volunteers in this community give in so many ways and in so many hours, and for also the way that you keep people fed during very difficult times in their lives. We applaud you and we thank you for the role that you play not only in this community but throughout the world. And now my colleague, Dr. Doniger.
Thank you very much. I noticed in the paper this morning that there was a report of a house fire in Rochester, and there were 10 people that were out of their home, and I understand that the Red Cross provided assistance to them. That's just an example of what happens every day here in our community. As a matter of fact, we sometimes make a mistake, but we take many of the institutions in our community for granted. It takes a lot of work and a lot of energy to keep the services available in our community that go on quietly behind the scenes at the Red Cross. We work very closely at the Health Department and our County Office of Emergency Preparedness to be ready for disasters and emergencies big and small, and we couldn't do it without the help of the Red Cross. So on behalf of County Executive Brooks, I'd like to offer our congratulations and thanks for the Red Cross in the celebration of Red Cross Month.
And now we'll read the proclamation that we're very proud to give, and Dr. Doniger will start the reading.
For more than 127 years, the Greater Rochester chapter of the American Red Cross has made many contributions through its humanitarian programs, making our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Every day, Red Cross volunteers and employees carry out their mission by providing essential services to people in need with the help of generous donors. The organization makes every effort to save lives long before tragedy strikes by assisting individuals through its emergency preparedness programs. The Greater Rochester chapter responds to nearly 360 local disasters a year, including house fires, floods, and other natural disasters. The Red Cross is perhaps most known for its blood donation services. As part of the New York Penn Blood Service region, the local chapter serves a population of approximately 7 million, covers 63 counties, and provides blood and blood products to over 100 hospitals.
The Greater Rochester chapter of the American Red Cross is also responsible for health and safety training courses, as well as wartime emergency aid. Over the past year, more than 60,000 people were trained in Red Cross life-saving skills, such as first aid, CPR, and AED. Therefore, we, Maggie Brooks, Monroe County Executive, and Robert J. Duffy, Mayor of the City of Rochester, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2009 to be American Red Cross Month in Monroe County and the City of Rochester, and encourage all residents to support the organization's humanitarian mission by becoming partners in preparedness. And we now present this to Mr. Buttrill.
Thank you.
Sure.